everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Before we begin, I do want to point out to the audience that we welcome questions. So please post any that you may have in the Q&A section at the bottom of your screen, and we will address those questions at the end of today's discussion. So I'd like to turn this over to Stephen Saltzstein, Forrest Family Office's CEO.
Thank you, Callie, and thank you everyone for joining us today. Leandro is actually going to lead this discussion, so I'm going to hop off screen here and give him the podium. But I just want to say, I just want to emphasize that I've had the great pleasure and honor of working with Leandro and Alvaro for a year, and everything they say they're going to do, they do. It's not every day that a company is asked by the NASDAQ to uplist and they do it on their own. And since I've been working with them, I think they have increased their EBITDA 4 or 5-fold. You guys are around 8.5 million now in EBITDA. Is that accurate?
Yes, starting in August, yes.
Yeah, and on several hundred million in revenue. So it's an incredible success story that can only happen with incredibly strategic thinkers like Leandro and Alvaro. So with that said, it is my great pleasure to welcome Leandro Iglesias to take over the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Very kind words. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you, Callie. Thank you, all the audience. Well, we need to spend a few minutes talking about our company, what we have built over the years. And we started this company in 2008, offering to the large telecommunications company one-stop shopping purpose to international connectivity for voice and SMS. And since that point, we start giving them the opportunity to focus on the end users, and we are going with the purpose and with the promise that we're going to take care about the international connectivity. And we have been doing this over the last 18 years. Of course, as a private company, we ran the company and we start in 2018 in OTC market. But that year, we reported like $30 million revenue. And we just reported $207 million for the first 6 months of this year. So basically, we are over a $400 million revenue. So IQSTEL, over those years, we became in a roll-up company. We have been acquiring companies. All of the acquisition has been strategic in order to add products, services, commercial footprint, key customers. And, in this process, we realized that, we have been increasing the revenue, increasing the EBITDA, but we realized, and right now we have like 21 countries footprint coverage. And right now, and in August, we are going to reach like 28 countries. So we're in this process increasing, our business platform for the large communications carriers. Our typical customers are companies like Verizon, like Vodafone, like Telefonica, like T-Mobile, like British Telecom, Etisalat, China Mobile, among others. So in this process, over the years, like 2 years ago, we realized that the most value that the company has, it wasn't the business revenue that we have, was the business relation that we have built over the years, because we already embed our technological platform in the customer premise. We embed with the network, we embed with the billing system, and we are doing with them millions of dollars in a yearly basis. So we realized that all the large telecommunications companies around the world, they are thirsty to having value-added services. And we realized that we were in a key position to start offering them value-added services that we named digital services. So basically, our company is a telecom company, that legacy telecom company offering voice and SMS, that already evolved into a digital global service provider. So in that sense, we invite here Jose Enrique Puente. Jose Enrique Puente is the head of R&D and AI innovation in the company, in IQSTEL. He has been leading all the technology behind all the IQSTEL AI proprietary solutions. He successfully implemented AI solutions and for multiple enterprise customers. He led the integration AI capabilities with the IQSTEL cybersecurity partners and solutions. And he is leading all the transition from, telecom legacy company into a digital service provider as the technological perspective. So basically today we are going to talk with him, talking to understand better what is our strategy, what are our strengths, and what are our opportunities to over the next years, and why IQSTEL is, in a very good shape to unlock this potential to, to becoming the customers. So let's start, Jose Enrique, talking a little bit. Over the years, we have been doing business with the large telecommunications companies. And, our customers have like 2.3 billion end users around the world. So basically, we understand that the digital services, our idea is to offer solutions to them in order that they can pass through to the end user. So I know that you have been working with us over 2 years, and you started this journey developing AI solutions. Can you, welcome on board and tell a little bit about the AI solutions that you have been developed over the last 2 years? Thank you, Enrique.
So first of all, thank you for inviting me to this meeting today. It's a great pleasure to be public on what we are building. So we've been developing this AI technology and a few more platforms for the last 2-3 years. So we're very focused on the telecommunication market because this is where we fit within IQSTEL ecosystem. So everything that we building it with telecom in mind. It's not like we are creating AI technologies for everyone. No, we are focusing on what really the telecom market needs. So we've been building all this technology from scratch, and we use our own mediums and our own infrastructure, our own telecom infrastructure to provide these services. So I think what we have been building in these last 2 years is very innovative. In fact, we haven't really disclosed all the platforms that we have created because we have shown to the public some of them, but we're working with some enterprises and some BPOs, contact center, on some other solutions. But we feel like what we have built is, is very powerful. It's all our own, and we feel like we can go to a next step and try to build or create services into this new digital services company where we can get to a mass audience instead of just focusing on enterprise and contact centers. So that might be the introduction.
Very good. So basically, we can, summarize like a takeaway that you have been developing technology in order to become IQSTEL like a telecom enhanced services using AI. So basically, that's our approach with AI, with the proprietary developments that you implemented. So very good. And more than AI, and this was like the first step, I know that you have been working with our cybersecurity partners over the last 2 years, exploring solutions. And we understand, that in this process to adding digital services to our customers, we talking with our customers, we realize that they are thirsty to getting, other solutions more than AI. And this was you enter exploring and developing cybersecurity solutions. So over the last 2 years, you have been announcing some things, some improvements using AI for cybersecurity and some solutions. Can you tell us a little bit about what you have been doing over the last 2 years in cybersecurity? What is
Yeah.
our, technological advantage on this, and why IQSTEL should be considered like a very good provider for cybersecurity AI-enhanced services? Thank you.
Yeah, I think that we've got the best partner for cybersecurity services, that is CYCURION. And but they're so focused on government and very big enterprises that in the end, what we have been trying to build together, it's something that it's more that can be sold through through the operators as their distribution channel. So it's a bit different from what they are used to do. So that's why we've been trying to, well, add AI solutions to the service. We have, of course, protected our own infrastructure with our services, and we have brought together a way to protect AI agents from being, let's say, attacked from external forces using a solution that has been developed between them and us. But from a sales perspective, what we're trying is to find the right spot for the telecom carriers to be able to sell these solutions that we are trying to design together that really fit for, let's say, more smaller businesses instead of the big enterprises and just the government, because this is something that they can do themselves, but we want to help them to distribute this type of service, and with our, let's say, with adding our own service value services to the cybersecurity field. So we're working on that. We've been working in the last year. To be honest, we have weekly meetings with them, and I think we're really getting to a point where we're going to have very soon solutions that we feel like they could be sold to a larger audience that right now they're doing. So with our help and with their expertise and with their great technology that they have, I think we're going to get great things together.
Great. Jose Enrique, complementing your approach, basically, our understanding is that you have been developing AI services and cybersecurity services with the idea to focus on the very massive markets, in order to escalate the commercial proposal, instead to offer 2, 3, 10 big corporations. Try to to use all of our connections with the large telecommunications customers in order to to spread out very wide our solutions are across them. So that's like the common part of the strategy. So keep talking about this technological solution that you have been working, and I know that with the acquisition of GLOBETOPPER, we enter in the Fintech arena, and GLOBETOPPER has a very strong position offering Fintech solutions. And I know very, very well know that that organization is producing like $6-7 million revenue. So it's running by their own. But how do I understand that our Fintech solution is way more than a gift card. It's like a transaction platform that we have. So how do you think in the future we can go to the large telecom customers and offering GLOBETOPPER as more like a gift card provider, like a platform to create transactions and fidelity for their customized solutions and everything? What's your opinion about that?
Yeah, so like you said, they're able to go on their own, and they're very successful on what they're doing. The thing is that in the end, we feel like everything that we're doing with telecom operators, and we know them well, and we know how to be able to sell mass solutions like they provide. So the only thing that we're trying to build together is a way to, they already have the technology. They already have everything that is needed. The only way is that maybe focusing on a different way to reach these telecom operators, because, in the end, we have 600 very big carriers on our channel that are our customers. We're doing million dollar businesses with them annually. So we know who are the right people in this industry. They trust us. And trust is something that takes a lot of years to be able to create. So in the end, we're able to see in our team, we're able to see, on a different way how we can approach this market. And this is what we're bringing to the table to GLOBETOPPER. But anyway, they're very successful with what they're doing. So they might not even need our help, but of course, we want to make them even bigger, right?
Very well, very well. I know, of course, that you have been working in two very attractive projects in the future. One of them is digital health, that you have been testing different platforms, different solutions, the devices, this is one of the devices that you sent me to try and monitor and getting monitor from my health data in real time. And you have been working with the different providers and everything. What do you think that is the potential for these technological solutions? And I very well know that you are looking not only for the gathering the data, you are thinking to how to improve this data using AI, and how can this solution embed in our technological platforms with AI solution and telecommunication solution. Can you talk a little bit about this, Jose, please?
Yeah, so we are working with several different vendors. Everyone brings something different to the table. We've got a very interesting vendor in Taiwan that has superb products and services, and we're working with them in order to make it more, let's say that trying to focus more on the product, and because the technology is incredible, they have something very, very powerful, but in the end you have to wrap it with something that it's really let's say interesting for the user. And with everything related with AI, we try to all this data that these devices are collecting. I mean, most of these vendors, or some of them, are already doing something with AI, but they're not experts on that. So they have someone in the team that they try to develop something, but the truth is that in our team we've been working very hard in the last 2-3 years on the I'm not saying we know everything about AI, but we've got quite an expertise on that. So we can help these digital health vendors to really provide a service where we're able to gather all this data with AI being able to analyze it on a different way, perhaps because they're more focused or on the hardware, on the device itself, or on the software to monitor this, or even with some vendors we're talking about, they even have some people behind that are, let's say, monitoring the health of their users. But in the end, AI is there, but they're not very experts on that. So this is what we're trying to. First, we try to understand their business, we try to understand their technology, and then we try to apply some of the platforms that we have been building in these 2 years, so that their products are even better, and it's easier, let's say, to distribute through the telecom channel.
Very good. Listen, I don't want to to talk a little bit about the things that you have been working, like a sneak peek, but I know that you have been working with Jorge Becerra in introducing content services to the company. And I don't want to say too much about this, all the work that together, but I think the most important part, like summarize everything, is why do you think is the reason that IQSTEL is a very good shape in order to introduce good technologies to the large telecommunications companies and be successful in this process instead, another startup? Why the large telecommunications companies trust in us in this process instead to trust in other startups
Yeah.
companies? What do you think is the key success strategy that we have?
Well, first of all, we're not a startup. We might behave like a startup, but we are not a startup because in the end, a startup, they have to build their credibility first. They have to build a product. They have to get their customers. So even though they might be very innovative, the truth is that it's very difficult for to be on doing so many things together. So we're not, let's say that we're not creating IQSTEL Digital from the scratch. So we have all the credibility from IQSTEL of 20 years. We have a powerful AI platform that, it's very powerful and it's able to provide a lot of features on different segments. We have created this from scratch on our own, so we're able to develop, and let's say, we're able to get new technology into our platform very easily. And in the end, Jorge Becerra, that is the CEO of IQSTEL Digital, he's bringing us a new vision that is different from, I've been in telecom like Alvaro and Leandro, we've been in telecom for 25 years. For me, making let's say, innovative technology for telecom is very simple because I've been doing this for 25 years. But the truth is that Jorge Becerra, what he's bringing to the table is a new way to approach a telecom operator to sell digital services that most of us haven't really sold until the moment, because we're very used to selling connectivity, voice, messages, fiber optics, all these type of services. We are very, let's say, we're very used to doing that. But the truth is that Jorge has been selling for 20 years, more than 20 years, in the telecom market, but for digital services. That is something that it's totally different. So in the end, if we put all this together, our technology, 600 operators where we can, just they're a phone call away from reaching any executive on this division, and our own technology, and what Jorge brings to the table, that is a real knowledge of how to sell mass services on the telecom market. I think that's that's the best way to approach this market, and we can do it very, very fast. So this is, in the end, I think we are on the right time, with the right people, with the right team. So I think we're good to go.
So we have like a very complete strategy, the technology, the customers, the potential customers to reach 2.3 billion users, at the same time, the right people to prepare
Absolutely.
the proposals, adding value. So that's fantastic. Listen, we are, Alvaro, I don't know if you have any questions to Jose Enrique at this point.
No, so far, no.
Listen, we are really excited about all the fantastic job that you have done, Jose Enrique. We are really proud to be partners with you in this journey. And I truly believe that, in this process of IQSTEL is already a digital global distribution service provider. You are your technological team is key in this process, and I'm pretty sure that all the technological advantage that you are giving us, we are putting us in a very strong position for all the goals that we have. Because listen, we are in the process of EBITDA expansion. We are next month we are going to be an almost $9 million EBITDA run rate, and our revenue is going to be surpassing the $500 million. And and we are going to have real coverage over 30 countries around the world, and in all those countries they need digital services, and we are ready to deliver services. And we have, all the digital services are high margin, high technological, and they have a lot of engagement in the end user. So it's something that once the end user taste it and use it, they keep consuming the service for months or years. That is a very good thing, because it's going to create a monthly revenue basis, based on subscriptions models. So it's going to be fantastic. So we are really excited about all the things that you have been doing, Jose. Sorry, I was almost mixing Spanish and English. Really excited about this. We love that all the things that I know that you have been working, in the backside of the company, preparing products and services. I know that you very soon are going to announce very interesting things that the market is going to receive in very welcome way. And listen, the digital services is the pillar of these services, is the technological advantage that you are putting this in the organization. So thank you very much, Jose, for this answer question, and let's give the chance to the audience in order if they have additional questions to talk.
Okay, great. I will get into the question. So the company is performing, why is the stock not performing? How does a company with 7 million shares outstanding trade over 100 million shares in a day and not be able to rise? Is this a convertible or other overhang?
100%. This is a very good question. And listen, in this process, we did something very good at that point, and made a very good decision that looks very good at that point. But we, after a year, we realized that it wasn't a very good decision. Let me explain a little bit. We got listed by our own in a direct listed, and was really good because we haven't diluted the company additionally in this listed process. But at the same time, when you get listed using an investment bank, you are going to get the retail support and spreading the word about the company. So at this point, in our humble opinion, the company, the message of the company, the message of the things that the potential of the company has, reaching 2.3 billion users, the market hasn't realized what is the real potential that the company has. The company doesn't have any convertible note outstanding, doesn't have any warrant outstanding, nobody's entering the market. So we truly believe that in the process that we start showing how the EBITDA expansion is reflected in the bottom line of the company with so tiny flow that we have, we truly believe that the potential upside of the stock is fantastic, and it's a very good entry point for any investors to being here.
Have insiders purchased shares recently? How do you think about insider ownership as the company grows?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Alvaro and I have been having positions in preferred shares over the years. Over the years, we have been exchanging salaries by preferred shares. So we have a very strong position in preferred shares. And the reason why we have this position in preferred shares instead than in common shares is because we don't have the plan to sell. So basically, we are sending the message to the market that we have getting positions for about in the capital structure in the company, thinking in the long run. So that's the way that we have been doing, exchanging part of our compensation in stocks.
But let me add something on that regard. insiders already owns around 7 to 8% of the company. So there is a no small insider ownership when you picture all the outstanding shares. So there is a strong insider position into the company currently.
Thank you. You already serve hundreds of telecom customers worldwide. What percentage of them currently purchase multiple services? And how much runway remains for cross-selling higher margin offerings?
That's a very good question. Basically, around, let's say, 40% of our revenue come. Okay, 40% of our revenue. Let me roll back. Let me say it this way. If we define telecom services as voice and SMS, we can say like around 80% of our revenue is based on telecom services, telecom legacy services. And from that 80%, 40% is SMS and 60% is voice. So, and in the case of SMS, we are growing the share of the revenue in SMS because SMS has a higher margin, higher gross profit. So we are increasing our percentage of SMS against the voice services. But the other 20% is under the umbrella of digital services because it's fintech services. So basically, we have like 80% telecom services and 20% digital services. And digital services right now mostly are fintech services. And we are growing the additional services as AI. We already launched our cybersecurity solution, and we are going to launch very soon other solution as a content solution. So basically, we are like a 80% telecom and 20% under the umbrella of digital services.
Thank you. Keeping on topic of AI, you have discussed that's an important growth initiative. Can you share any specific customer use case where AI is already generating revenue? And how large do you think this business could become over the next few years?
Well, this is a fantastic question. Listen, we are offering AI services in telecom, and we are using telecom services in AI like AI agents for selling. And we have a customer that has like 1,000 positions in a call center that uses our technology to offering insurance services in the States. So basically, they are using our AI to pre-qualify the potential customer and passing along the call to a human in order to close the sales. So we have a very important position there. We have been working with a very important publisher company in Europe, and they're going to launch our service in this second part of the year, second half of the year. So at this point, more important than the revenue per se that we are offering is the know-how and the knowledge that we are developing on this. Because listen, we are in this process like, and producing like in the edge of the state of the art of the technology, because having voice solutions to interact with the customers in real time and avoiding any hallucination process for this has been a really challenge that Jose Enrique has realized. I don't know, Jose Enrique, if you want to talk a little bit about how can you structure the solutions in order to avoid the hallucination process. Very shortly, because
before Jose answers that answer, I would like to add something that for Jose to also talk about is connected with what Leandro said. Is people is used to think about artificial intelligence as ChatGPT and some other solution like that. But what we are doing using AI is more bigger than that and more, complex than that. So, Jose, please.
Yeah. So, yeah, in the end, we are in the edge of AI with voice interactions, but the truth is that on the phone, I mean, because that's the most difficult media, because, everyone has been chatting with ChatGPT, you can interact with them with your mobile phone, but when you're behind the phone and you expect a human to be reaching you, it's different. So we have been developing a lot of things. Let's say we're trying to fine tune some of the best AI models in the market from the big tech companies that have their models, because the truth is that it's even challenging to have a AI agent on the phone that but that really interacts like a human. So this is what we have been doing. It's a very big market, but the truth is that apart from that, with IQSTEL Digital, we also want to focus on, let's say, instead of just going to the enterprise, we've got contact centers where, of course, can use our technology. It's going to be a very big market. It's already a very big market. Or enterprises that have their own contact centers in-house. So we're working with this type of customers, but we also want to work with mass market, with small businesses through the telecom channel.
Thank you.
Thank you. As cash flow improves, how will you prioritize capital among acquisitions, share repurchases, debt reduction, and internal investment?
A very good question.
Let me help you with that, Leandro. Well,
Let me give
Sure.
Let me give you like a introduction. I think it's important to point out at this point that IQSTEL has more than $400 million revenue. So basically, in a daily basis, our banking account receives 7 digits. So we are right now using that for having good relation with the bank and having another source of financing using the commercial banks. So go Alvaro.
Yes, well, first of all, we have to say that our operating companies are positive cash flow companies. So they are generating their own resources and they're also able to distribute resources to the holding entity. As a technology company, we are investing almost in daily basis in improving our platforms, our technologies. We have invested a lot resources during the last 2-3 years developing all the things related to digital services and AI, as we have been discussing the last minutes here. Acquisitions, we have used some cash sources for acquisitions. We have issue or use equity also to complete the acquisitions. But the important thing is that every acquisition we have done in the past have increased the value of the company, has increased the asset of the company, has increased the net shareholders equity. So we have creating value with every acquisitions. A few weeks ago, we announced that we have been implementing a share repurchase program. The resources are already allocated and are the dividends that one of our subsidiary are paying up to the holding company. So that's already been in place, and we're working on the details to start that repurchase program. And I have to say that the company right now have 1.6 million outstanding debt, putting aside all the commercial debt and the debt with the providers that are for the commercial activities of the subsidiary, and none of that debt is convertible. So we have no really pressures on the debt side, because the service of that debt is about $40,000 per month. So basically, this is how we have been using our cash flow. And for you to keep and take away, very important message, all our operating subsidiaries are positive operating cash flows companies.
Thank you, Alvaro. Listen, you answered it way better than me. Thank you. Thank you for rescuing me.
So which of your value add services will contribute the most to your revenue in the next 12 months?
Oh, fantastic. Listen, we have two big bets on this. This is our AI services and our content services. But listen, we don't want to heads up too much about the things that we are doing right now that we are going to announce very shortly. But we are going to having great announcements in the second part of the year.
Okay, thank you. Beyond EBITDA, what should investors expect regarding operating cash flow and free cash flow over the next 12 to 24 months?
Fantastic question. Okay, listen, let's talk a little bit about EBITDA, and I will let Alvaro talk about cash flow. Talking about EBITDA, our company is expecting next month to reach over $8 million run rate, and our goal is going to be around $13 to $15 million run rate before the end of the year. Of course, having that such an EBITDA, we are going to be in a position to start generating excess of cash flow in the company. And this is some of the things that is a very good problem for Alvaro in the future. So Alvaro, go on.
Yes, well, and as I said before, all our subsidiaries has a positive operating cash flow and has free cash flow. It's a different story when we combine that with the public vehicle and the expenses and debt service that the public vehicle has to cover basically on the merchant acquisition campaign that we have implemented during the last almost 7 years. So this is basically where our free cash flow is compromised. But looking at the future, next 24 months, with the EBITDA expansion that we are planning and projecting, we could say that the company as a whole entity, so operating entities as well as the holding company, will have a free cash flow within a time frame of 24 months.
Thank you, Alvaro. Second rescue in this.
Thanks. And are there any potential catalysts to propel the stock in the next few quarters?
Yeah, 100%. Listen, as long as we are execution company, and we are every single thing that we promise about execution to the shareholders, we met or surpass. So as long as we keep doing this and we can keep announcing the goals of reaching our milestones on the EBITDA expansion and talking about how we are going to expand and unlock the potential to reaching the 2.3 billion end users with digital services, we truly believe that the potential upside for the company is going to happen. And listen, we are not far away of this. We are, as I said, about the EBITDA expansion is going to happen this year, and the unlock the potential of our digital distribution channel, and very massive, is going to start seeing results this second part of the year. So we are in weeks. In weeks, you are going to see what's going on with our strategy and what we are going to deliver.
Thank you. And last question, what milestones do you believe would cause investors to begin valuing IQSTEL more like a technology platform rather than a low-margin telecom wholesaler?
I think this is the answer was the same that the previous. As long as we deliver the milestone of EBITDA expansion, and that the investors and the family offices and the investment banks, see that every single milestone that we promised that we are going to achieve, we achieve it. And in the process that we start showing to the market big contracts to reach millions of potential end users with services and digital services, the potential upside of the company is there. And it's going to happen this second part of the year, everything. So we are almost there. We are right at the corner in this process, and we're really excited about the next weeks, months, about the things that are going to happen. I'm pretty sure that next time that we're going to be together here in this webinar, we are going to talk about the things that we achieved and the next goals for the next year.
If you connect the merger and acquisition history of the company within the time frame that Jose mentioned, we has been working on AI and digital services. So we has been working on digital services and AI during the last 2-3 years, and we has been executing a merger and acquisition campaign during the last 6 years. So the merger and acquisition campaign had 2 reasons. First, it was to expand our global reach and to increase our capabilities to reach more and more end users, potential end users. We also, last year, our last acquisition, GLOBETOPPER, was also to extend, to expand us not only geographically, but also into another business area, which is Fintech. And simultaneously, we has been developing the new services and products that we are going to include into that distribution channel. So the strategy is a whole strategy. It's not only acquiring companies or expanding the revenue. It was more for expanding the distribution capabilities of the company while we has been developing the services that we are going to include into that distribution channel. So it's a strategy that we has been developing during the last 6 years.
Good.
Okay. Please go.
Just 2 things first. If I have to give you a takeaway of the company and what the IQSTEL is a digital service, global digital service provider for the telecom industry, having the large telecommunications company as a customers, and having a potential reach of 2.3 billion users, and we are really proud of the business platform that we built, and we are pretty sure that as long as we keep this EBIT expansion process and adding and showing contracts with the reach of millions of end users, the potential upside for the stock and investors, unlock the potential of the value for our shareholders is going to be fantastic. Thank you very much, Jose Enrique, for having here.
Thank you, Leandro, for having me. Thank you.
A pleasure. Callie, as always, thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. And I hope everyone has a great day.